would be very helpful, because we can then retain that information and feed it out as we have our dialogues with members, you know, and we can publicise the fact that we've met with you all, and you know, there are these opportunities that may be beneficial to the industry. I've participated in trade missions before where a bunch of UK companies has gone to a country or a number of countries, and it doesn't work always at the time, but that flow of information that then sparks and builds relationships can be very helpful. So feedback of information would be very, very helpful there. I think understanding from your perspective as entrepreneurs what issues you face, not only technical but also business-wise, whether that be the business skills that you may feel that you need more enhancement on. You know, you may be technically very capable, but new, young in the business world. You know, sometimes that's great actually, because you don't know what the barriers are, and you don't worry about the barriers, and you just go and do stuff. And it's only afterwards that someone tells you that was really very difficult what you did, but you know, you didn't know, and that's great. But sometimes you might feel that there are certain business areas where mentoring or training and support would be very beneficial. So to understand what those issues are for you would be helpful. And then I guess barriers in you actually doing your business and expanding your business might be helpful to understand. You know, do you struggle because you're young, or is that an advantage? You know, you're new, and therefore that new wave of ideas and different ways of doing things helps you to attract business. You know, is it a positive or is it a negative? Actually getting that visibility and that share of voice, is that an issue or isn't it an issue? Financing your business and the security of your business. You know, some of you have mentioned working with, you know, Unilever, for instance, you know, a huge brand and company. Were they worried about dealing with a small new entrepreneurial business, or were they quite happy to invest their intellectual property and capital in you, and trust that, you know, you will respect their brand, deliver a good product at the end? You know, what are the challenges there? So, you know, all of those sorts of issues could be really useful to explore, and be beneficial to us to help us to sort of think about what business solutions we might deliver for the equivalent businesses in the UK, and maybe roll out a series of programs that our industry, because we have trade bodies in other territories. I'm just thinking, we've got one in Poland. I know there's a trade body in India, but our links with them are not. Our links are mainly in Europe, and there's definitely a new body starting up in Slovenia. So we could probably link you with trade bodies as well.
It's in Warsaw or in Krakow?
It's in Warsaw, yeah.
What's the exact name?
Good question.
I'll
make sure we send you the details. Just make sure that, you know, I'll leave some cards here. You'll pass them around, and just give us your contact details, and we'll hook up where we can with trade bodies in your territories that could then facilitate that dialogue. But, you know, rather than us reinventing the wheel of services, each territory as it goes, and see if, you know, we can work collectively on our side and support you on your side.
Just adding to what Mike was asking, thank you. It'd be also be interesting for me to know around the table, you're all obviously involved in interactive products of some sort, and the ways you're all using them and the appetite there is for these interactive products is very interesting. In terms of, one of the things we want to do is to look how interactive products can be used in education and so on, in schools and further education to as a games-based learning kind of thing. So it'd be good to get an idea from you what your clients are using this interactive products for, and you know, the scope of it as far as you're concerned, what you see the uses of it are.
I think As for Lebanon, it's like we're working on
Yeah.
a major project for the civil defense.
Okay.
It's like an educational game for kids ranging from 7 to 10
Yeah.
that teach them about the risks of natural disaster and domestic disasters.
Yeah.
And so far the project is successful, so we're doing it with the European Union.
Yeah.
Okay, so the project is successful so far, so they intend to expand it to Egypt, Jordan, and I think it's going to be to Italy and France.
And do you find it's easy to convince your clients that
No.
interactivity is the way to go and that's what they should do? You find it easy, they accept that, or they still want to use traditional? I guess if they're approaching you, they've already sort of thought we need to use a new way.
And that's one of the biggest problems.
Yeah.
We were dealing with the UN,
Yeah.
and that's why it's a bit easier
Yeah.
to convince that, okay, we're going to do a video game, in any games for kids,
Mhm.
teach them about this stuff. Okay, but if you go like further into the Arab world, into the Gulf, into like Saudi Arabia region, it's not gonna say impossible, because we got some clients in the region, but it's really hard to convince them that this is a more efficient way and a more exposed way to tell them the thing that you want to tell them,
Get your message across.
whether education, whether brand, whether awareness about any subject that you want.
Mhm.
It's a much efficient way to do it.
And is the reluctance because people still think of they associate games as being for children, or
Yes,
they're still-
practically yes. Especially that, and why do I have to invest that amount of money, okay, into a game?
which I think is a toy almost, like a child's toy or
Something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lack of evidence to show the effectiveness of these as a learning tool.
It's more like an awareness of the importance and the effectiveness of such a product.
Okay.
Is that something you shared on the table? Do you all find it difficult to have awareness of the effectiveness of interactive entertainment as a product, or you all?
Well, it depends from whom you're dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
the companies that we deal with, they are like mostly brands and multinational giants, and
Mhm.
they understand the value because like either they have tried it somewhere else
Yeah.
and they want to do it,
Yeah.
or they are really keen to try something experimental to get their brand message out there through interactivity.
Mhm.
So they are quite open to ideas.
Mhm.
Right.
That's what my sense is. Like, it may be a different case with the government institutions or
Mhm.
things like that, where the whole bureaucracy is there and the things are a little slower out there. But with private companies, like we find that they are really open to accept something new,
Right.
to use it basically.
I guess the edu games is special category when you deal practically with the government, and
Yeah.
government it's always like bureaucracy, they are slow, they
Yeah,
don't know
sure,
what
sure.
they want.
They're old, they're traditional, they're set in their ways. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah. But so commercial businesses are
They're more
they
open.
embrace it now,
They're more
and you find that they're open to this. And
But okay, my case was with McDonald's in
Yeah.
Latvia, and they were working with the agency who asked us how can we make an advert game, in particular the online real-time football.
Mhm.
Not real-time, two players play each
Yeah.
against the other.
This is web-based, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a Facebook game.
Yeah. Okay.
And we knew about the project like 9 or 6 months before
Mhm.
ahead. We knew, okay, that possible deadline is over there. They planned like it will go like months in parallel with the championship.
Okay. Yeah.
And they were really slow with the decisions. And it's 3 months till the deadline
Yeah.
what they have set.
Yeah.
And it's no way you can say to FIFA, okay, just postpone a bit.
Yeah.
And
sure.
then they, okay, it's green light, then, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And we managed to build the game, the real-time stuff, but we didn't manage to build the viral things in it.
Okay.
And afterwards, they were like unsatisfied. They don't know what's the scope, what's the timing, what's the things are.
So they had unrealistic
Expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
about
And
it.
they were somehow relying on themselves for the publicity. Okay, we will have in-store advertising, like giving coupons and stuff, but they don't actually got into the details. They were like giving out the coupons with some special offer, and on coupon